Hi guys, I'm Shmee. Hello and welcome back to the channel where you join me today to have a lot of fun with this, the Brabus B35S. Now I'm out here in winter wonderland on the snow in Finland with Continental as part of their winter high performance event. Down that way there is a lineup of cars to drive, but I wanted to experience this, the perfect pocket rocket for these wintry conditions. We have a host of upgrades from Brabus. I'll take you around the modifications to the exterior, but also a power bump to 365 horsepower, and being based on the Mercedes AMG A35 means we've got the four-wheel drive 4MATIC system along with the Continental WinterContact tyres, which means a perfect recipe to have a lot of fun driving sideways out on the snow. Let's have a quick look at the car then hop on board, because it is absolutely freezing to go out for a drive to see what it's like. The car is currently parked with the engine running, keeping it warm, but also keeping it warm on the inside, because in just a moment I am going to need to take a break from the cold. It is about -7 degrees out here, but we've got this wide open area to drive around. Also, there's a track down at the far end to go and do a few laps on. But let me first show you around the modifications and changes that Brabus have made to the B35S. So this car was launched at the Frankfurt IAA about 4 or 5 months ago, based on the Mercedes AMG A35 4MATIC. Now the A35 is kind of the entry-level AMG. It sits beneath the A45 and the A45 S, but still packs a mighty punch. Now as always for Brabus, it's launched in black, although in this case a little bit of snow camo going on around the back of it. One of the big upgrades that they've done is to the engine. It's got the 2-litre turbocharged 4-cylinder engine. Normally it would be making 304 horsepower. This car though has the Brabus Power Extra Plus, which takes that up 61 horsepower to 365. It also takes torque up from 400 Newton meters to 460. That means thanks to the all-wheel drive system, this car can do the 0 to 100 km/h sprint, 62 miles per hour, in just 4.4 seconds. That is very, very quick. Now visually, to start around the front, of course, it's emblazoned with the Brabus emblems in the centre and also up on the top. You've not got the Panamericana vertical slat grille that you'd get on the A45, but rather the more traditional Mercedes grille at the front. Now what you've got to remember is this adds an extra touch of exclusivity and bespoke appearance. For example, these extra flics that you have to the corners at the front splitter. You've got the Brabus 19-inch wheels, which in the case of this, mounted for the occasion with the Continental WinterContact tyres, perfect for driving out on the snow. We'll experience what that's all about very shortly. Around the back, you've got this enhanced spoiler up at the top of the boot lid. We've lost some of the visual cues back here, but the Brabus logo, the B35S logo, and of course a new exhaust system with the carbon fibre tips as well, the quad tailpipes that you have two on each side. Anyway, like I've said, it is very, very cold. Let me take a seat inside here. A few additional touches, illuminated side steps, the Brabus floor mats, but yes, I need to warm up just for a moment. We've got the MBUX system, like literally -7 degrees, so the lovely touch screens that you have in front of you, it's all very, very smart. The light green illumination that you have around, also the nice details. I'm going to go straight to that button to turn on my heated seats. But yes, I think really without any further hovering around, we should take this out, go have a little drive, see what it's like, and I rather expect this is going to be a lot of fun. I haven't really driven the A35 before. Of course, I've had an outing in the A45S, but the A35 I think sits in quite an interesting place in the market, introducing AMG to a wider audience at a slightly lower price point. Now even in here you have the dynamic mode selector where you can change, so I've just popped it into sport. We can go all the way up into sport plus. You can of course drive it manually with the paddles as opposed to automatic, and we do actually have new extended paddles from Brabus as well. But let's basically go straight into gear and I think kind of go full guns blazing. Oh, releasing the brake, handbrake there. Okay, yep, this is going to be quite slidey. Now, of course, at the minute, traction control is fully on, and I am going to go and drive, I guess, around the track in a few different ways, a little bit like it's a road course, but have to remember a bit the techniques that you need to use when driving in a car on snow. Traction control is just here. If I pop that into sport mode with one press, sport handling mode, and then kind of see if we can do a bit of a donut, really. The nice big four-wheel drive donut. Oh, it's throttling me back quite a lot there, obviously in sport mode, and I've completely obscured my side windows now. Do you know what? This is awesome fun. Slow motion, even in sport, that lets you do that. And if you press and hold, it will turn that completely off. Of course, the driving modes, you also have individual where you can customize it. They change a host of other things, not just, oh yeah, there you can feel immediately it's a little bit more slippy. So let's head past some of the other cars to go out onto the track then. Now, what I love a lot about the A-Class is that they introduced all the MBUX, the whole system where you can talk to the car and you've got these massive screens, loads of information, you can customize your dashboard display, you can choose exactly what you'd like it to show and say, and the premium feel of this car for the money is just on an unbelievable level. This steering wheel, just look at the steering wheel with the hot access controls here. You can configure with the touchscreens exactly what you'd like them to show and what options you would like to have from it. I'm actually going to pop it into sport mode just for my first lap out here on the track, but we will turn out. It is basically empty, private track right now to do as I please with. And I tell you, the other thing you might notice is the sound that you get from the car on the inside at least. Now obviously outside it's quite quiet, new regulations etc, big topic with the A45. Okay, first corner, take it easy, don't want to get this wrong, get the grip. Point where you need to go, that's the thing with a four-wheel drive car. Point the wheels and you'll go in that direction. Get some angle. It's slow motion fun. Need to be careful of the other cars on track, but point the wheels. More power you give, the more sideways you'll slide. It sounds really, and listen to the crackles as well that you get out of it. Wait for it, catch the slide. There we go. Okay, this is always a lot of fun. Now let's go all the way off again. ESP off. Maybe I'll just go around this corner first. Just to, yeah, instantly. We're a lot more sideways. Okay, this is where you just gotta be patient, wait for it, wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. Very sideways. This is a lot of fun. I mean, driving on snow and ice is always one of the best things that you can do, but this is awesome fun. And it sounds so good as well inside here. Listen to this. And of course you get that traditional kind of Mercedes upshift bark. Oh, it thinks I'm talking to it. It heard me say Mercedes. Normally you would kind of introduce and say, hey. Obviously I can't say it because it will hear me. But yes, this is awesome. This is really awesome. And although I can't completely comment, ah yes, got some links there. I can't completely comment on the power feel because this is not a normal driving environment. It's still pretty epic fun. Oh goodness. How cool is this? I am currently power sliding a brand new Brabus car. This is literally brand new, only introduced a few months ago. And we're out doing this on the snow here in Finland with Continental, with the right tyres for the occasion. I find myself now on a much twistier and most importantly narrower stretch. So what I'm going to do is pop traction back on, use the dynamic selector to put the car into comfort mode to get a different sense of what it's about. And what amazes me when you've got winter tyres on a car is how you can drive in these kind of conditions almost as if you're just on tarmac. The right tyres like this for the conditions make it so easy to corner around like you're on rails. And I'm not going to take any chances because, well, this is Brabus's own car and I guess they've probably only got one factory car and we don't want to take any risks with it. So just cruising around like this though, in comfort mode, the auto gearbox doing its thing. This is what amazes me about this car, is how much performance but also technology you get for the money with it. And it's an interesting one for AMG in general, expanding the portfolio. You know, in the past there would only be a couple of AMG models in the line. Now you have so many different variants. Even on the A-Class, the entry-level Mercedes, the hatchback, you've got the A35, the A45 and the A45 S. So it's a big range, but you get those AMG characteristics. We've got the AMG performance, AMG track pace, lap timers, all of those kind of things in this car. And I just think that it's actually really quite impressive. This has to be the class leader for this segment. Give it the spice and injection of additional life from Brabus, with the body kit on the exterior, with the small parts, and also with the exhaust system, which sounds so nice. The exhaust system in this car is so good, especially inside. You hear a very fruity noise to it. And as I was talking recently with my friend Rokanar, Mr. AMG, the A45 in the first generation was really the dictator of sounds of AMGs to come in the future. The noises that they all really make in terms of the tone and the pops that you get on the upshifts and those kind of sounds. This though, like this, is back to almost being silent. To be honest, I preferred it in Sport Plus. There we go, instantly we get a nice little pop out of the back of it. Now it doesn't change itself immediately into traction and sport or anything when you go into Sport Plus. Gosh, driving on snow is just such a different sensation. I mean, even now, I'm not going crazy fast, but some decent pace, you know, 50 kilometers an hour. I've still got proper braking. This is just, I don't know, it's just really good fun. And then if we go over these bumpy bits, and in Sport Plus it is kind of bumpy, as you would probably expect. Out here, in a four-wheel drive car, you just kind of point the wheels and shoot, and away you go. And that's interesting, without turning traction off there. That was the car throttling me back. I didn't turn traction off, and that was all it allowed me to do. In fact, I'm just gonna test this with a little bit of a pirouette. Full, yeah, that was foot flat. That was foot flat. Barely allowed it. Obviously traction control with these cars. Yeah, my foot is on the ground right now. Like on the ground flat. That's actually really interesting as a test in its own right. My foot is still flat on the ground. I haven't backed off in the slightest. That was fascinating for me. Then in sport mode, yeah, now it's throttled me. Now my foot's still flat and it's throttling. That's really interesting. So sport mode allows you that balance of control. And then if we go off again, I think we'll probably get all guns blazing. Yep. Yep. No holding back. Round we go. Pirouettes for days. And it's not the drift mode of the A45. Oh, there we go. It did actually cut in a little bit. So even in all off, it still holds you back a little bit, doing some larger four-wheel drive donuts. So it doesn't have the drift mode, it doesn't have that fancy rear axle, but it is a pretty cool thing. This is so much fun. This is so much fun. Let me show you a few more of the little extra touches that they've got on the car. I think we're then going to have a bit of a break, but really cool. This, what a place to be driving. What a car for it. Big thanks to Continental and big thanks to Brabus. The way you can just slide this car is so awesome, and I might have just done a little bit of a drift around some of the other cars that are lined up as part of this event in front of us. Anyway, let me show you a bit more through the interior of this, a bit more about the screens, the steering wheel, and the steering wheel you will notice is basically lifted from the big brother AMG models. You've got the touch controls here which allow you to do the various menus. So for example, here on the left side you control the dashboard, which you can go through a whole host of different things. Your assistance, telephone, navigation, AMG performance data and displays. You've also got the ability to change between a few different driving display modes. So for example, bringing up Super Sport completely reconfigures the view that's in front of you, and I think this was actually the main one for this car. Really nice. Even here you've got the power and torque charts to go with that and your RPM. That looks really nice. Then in the central screen it's controlled from this one, where you can see we've got AMG performance, we've got AMG track pace, you've got your comfort settings. There's so much in here. This is a car at this price point having this level of technology. It's actually more advanced than the G63 or the AMG GT 4-door 63S. There's so much to do. But what I really like about the steering wheel are the controls you have at the bottom. For example, the rotational toggle here to go through your different driving modes, if you can just about make that out, comfort, individual, You've got all of those. You can always just press it to go straight to individual, which is really nice. Then on the left side, you've got the modes that you can actually configure. So you can either press them to switch between what they're doing, like the mode that you've actually got loaded, or you can toggle. I know you can't in this. Okay, so you've just got traction and your automatic or manual, but you've got the hotkeys to do those just like that. Then this is all touchscreen. Then you've also got the ability to say, "Hey Mercedes."
Yeah, bitte.
And as you can see, that's currently in German, so it's not going to understand me speaking in English, but you could just say, you know, change the lighting to blue, and it would change all the interior lighting to blue. Then all of these details are just really nice, and when you turn the air vents up, they go red. When you turn them down, they go blue. Look at that. Small, really, really nice touches. All your climate control settings. You've got a storage bucket here with a wireless charging pad, some cup holders. You've got the input pad here as well. Even this car has park assist and the surrounding cameras view. So you can actually load those up all around, as you can see, for many different views, depending what you need to make your life a little bit easier. Straight to the car settings, you've got a hotkey, Navi map, some more hotkeys, armrest, a bit of storage back here, some USB ports inside. All around, this thing, it's just a car that offers so much in one thing. And then I'm just going to give it actually a little bit of a blip. Are we in Sport Plus? Yes, we're in Sport Plus at the moment. Just take a quick listen. Of course, one of the things when you're in park, as we are now with the selector that you have just here, you can no longer have the just popped it in neutral, the pops and cracks out of it. You have to be moving, as you can hear, even in neutral. You don't get any of those from it anymore. Lots of assistance systems, lots of everything. Just a really, really nice car. A few looks up here. We've actually got a nice glass roof as well, large glass roof up overhead. There's a nice detail. And just to hop out for a second, leaving the engines running, a little bit snowier than it was earlier. In fact, quite a lot snowier. Look what I've done to the wheels. Filled them with snow from going sideways too much. You can see got some bags back here, but the seat in my position, decent amount of space. And I'm not going to try and open the boot right now. I've made this a snowmobile. Oops. But you can see the aero's kind of doing some things back there. But yes, what a lot of fun here as part of this amazing lineup out with Continental on the snow here in Finland for their winter high performance event, driving the Brabus A35 S. So is this the perfect winter pocket rocket? I think almost undoubtedly that is what you could call it. Sliding around in this car, beyond fun, so controllable, even though it's not the A45 or the A45 S with the kind of drift modes and all of that side of things. I didn't expect this to be so good. Compared to some of the other cars that I've driven in these kind of environments, the level of slidability, if I can call it that, just awesome. Absolutely awesome fun. So a huge thanks to Continental for the opportunity to be part of today's event. A big thanks as well to Brabus for the opportunity to play around with this thing. I hope you've enjoyed the video, taking a look, having some fun with the B35S. That is it for this time though. Thank you very much for watching as always, guys, and I will see you again very soon. Cheers!